Hiya, welcome to part 4 of the New Age Religion and the Saviour complex. I was telling you a story of a chap I met who was part of some Christian group. I think, looking at it, he's probably kind of like Jehovah's Witness, you know. It definitely resonated with that. They believe in the end of the world as they take the Bible and Revelation, the revelation and the final judgment as a physical event or physical events. That's what they believe. God's final judgment, it will be seen as a physical event, like many Christians believe. And these people were putting the modern spin on it as Jesus being almost like an alien, appearing in a big UFO. I wish I brought the book with me so I can kind of take you through it a bit. But it doesn't matter because you get the general message. That's the main thing. The little details don't matter if I get a few bits wrong. For example, I think after Jesus takes the believers, the saved human race off planet, while this catastrophe is going on, while the rest of the human race is being judged by him. After that's all kind of blown over, he puts the people back on the earth, I think, and then they inherit the earth, and the earth is his kingdom now on earth, like it says in the Bible. The saviours, the chosen ones, the believers will inherit the earth, and it will be heaven on earth. It will be his kingdom. That's what I believe that book was saying as well. I was saying that these people were doing and are doing amazing things. I mean, bizarre, but like I said, they were practically living. If it's true, I mean, I saw this on a DVD. It could be a front, but they were living off thrown away food, and it was quite interesting because, when you think about it, the amount of food that gets thrown away from supermarkets because it's out of date, and that's just makes you think, doesn't it? All that food, they say there's food shortage, and we've got famines in third world countries, and we're throwing all this food away. Good point. And they were kind of like, well, it just literally past its sell-by date by hours and minutes. They were taking it and preparing big food buffets for people, and they were kind of like meeting, and it was like a social thing as well as becoming a follower of them, and they were and I think this couple, they lived in their car or something like that. They seemed kind of like a bit rough, the guy was kind of 6 foot shadow all the time and all of that, and they were really nice people, and their hearts were really in the right place, I've got still admiration for them. There was a scene on the video where this chap was burning, this homeless guy. I don't think he was one of them. He was burning money. He was burning a dollar bill to say, I'm so not part of the system. And I thought that's really cool, admire those people. So there's positive stuff there, but the overall, coming to that book, the overall crunch of it was a saviour complex, or I don't know if complex is the right word. I call this book the New Age Religion and the Saviour complex, but it's pretty on par. Maybe they call it the Saviour program would be better, if that's what people. That's a word that's thrown around, the program, the God program. This is what I'm talking about. And so they really believe that Jesus is going to come and save them, but it's no different. This is what I'm saying. It's no different than the old interpretation of the final judgment and the rapture and in Revelations. And as a matter of fact, I reckon if you asked Christians, and really I'm talking about the born again Christians. This is really what I'm referring to. We've had a rise in Christianity, in born again type Christianity. I think in the past few years. I could be wrong, but I think it's on the rise again. A little mini movement, along with the UFO cult and the alien conspiracy cult. It's kind of come up with it because it's pretty much the same thing, which is what I'm going to get into, and I think that's due to the recession and people's lives not going as they thought they would be because of it, and the modern living that we're in. We're very detached from the from nature and all of that, and they're So they're actually reverting back to their old faith, an old faith that was used, that was present in society 100 years ago, or not even that. And another thing I want to get at is, looking at those people in that video that were, they're just a common person on the street, and they were asking them, what do you think of this chapter in Revelation in regards to the microchipping, etc., etc., and God's judgment on people. Have you ever thought about that? And I should have watched the video again, because I don't mean to get my facts wrong and everything like that. But there were people on there who really didn't give it much of a thought, and in a way, those people are even further. They're more lost, if you want to call it that, than people in religious cults. Most of them, anyway, I believe. And the reason why is because all of this whole saviour complex and the God program, probably especially more in Westerners, but it's present in probably most big, major religions. This whole saviour complex is right underneath the surface of people's consciousness, of their waking consciousnesses, of the faces that they wear, the ego that they put on every day. It's right underneath there, I think, and a crisis can just bring it through. It can push through, and that's why I said that these people who are in these alien saviour type cults, a few hundred years ago, they would be just interpreting it in a different way, in the old-fashioned way, with the Jesus flying in on a cloud to save you. It's the same thing. It's the point I'm putting across here. And that's something that you need to try and remember. Yeah, people are unaware of that. That's why I thought deep down most people are religious, because it's just that they haven't had their back against the wall when challenges in life, I guess I have to be careful when I say that, because, I could follow an example. I mean, I don't want any tragedies in my life, so life's not 100% easy for me, but it never is. I've got problems, but we all have. But right underneath the surface of the psyche, especially Westerners, is that whole saviour program there. How we want to deliberately project the idea of a saviour as someone else outward in the world, in the reality that we see. That just seems to be part of nature, whether it be Jesus or an alien. So that's a good point. So that really sets an example of what I'm saying here, and I learned a lot from that. Just look at my notes here. Yeah, because he was describing, like I said, a actual physical rapture as an event, God's judgment as an event, because we're looking outward. Most people look outward when it comes to this kind of thing. Yeah, they're very shallow, and don't mean that in an egotistical way. They can't look deeper into anything, so they always miss the meaning. And people, leaders in cults, and if you do a bit of research, Alan Watt will tell you a lot of people in these cults that run them are tied into secret societies, and the secret societies are connected to the bloodlines and the power elite, these psychopathic individuals. It's all tied in there. The people of these cults know, fair bit about human behaviour and psychology, and they use it as a weapon. So they know when people are vulnerable, when they suffer some hardship, a tragedy, their barriers drop, their psychic barriers drop, their ego is weakened, if you like, their waking ego. I mean, their conscious part of themselves is weakened, and they can easily be more manipulated subconsciously, and they prey on that. They use that as a tool to their advantage. And people in cults, whether it's a modern UFO cult, or the Roman Catholic religion, I can call that a cult. I mean, I'm not talking about your everyday church with your well-meaning people. I'm talking about the Vatican and the Roman Catholic religion, the Vatican and the powerful people behind that, and a lot of these corrupt priests that use this knowledge as a weapon. And the Bible itself, the power elite, people have said this before, and I agree. They use the Bible as a blueprint for future events that will change and steer society and the human race, how they want to steer it. Whether it be wars and things like that, religious wars, even plagues and famines that they may prepare. I actually do believe this. They want to hit a certain culture or a country, make it a third world, or create a plague, a famine, or encourage war. This can be used for culling the population and genocide and things like that. They use tools like that. For example, we'd mentioned the Fabian Society with H.G. Wells. He wrote The War of the Worlds, and he planted the seed of a possible alien invasion and got the idea of the whole extraterrestrial invasion into people's minds. It's the same with the Bible, with the final judgment and these big events that are going to take place. Let's continue that in part 5.